Welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I'm Ronique and I appreciate you joining me here every lunation cycle where we talk about the astrology. I use tarot cards to help us understand how to use the energies better in our lives. I appreciate you coming here. If you've never been here before, this is my esoteric journey where I'm consistently learning progress over perfection and how to use my intuitive gifts and also be able to tap into how do I manage through this everyday world by using these lunation cycles to really help me help us hone in on what is really good for ourselves, the community, the collective, and of course, what is going to make us be a better version of ourselves, right? So thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed, I would love if you would hit the bell below to become a subscriber so you know when I post these videos, as well as like, comment, and share with your friends and family. So today we're going to talk about the full moon in Pisces at 10 degrees on September 2nd, 2020 at 1:21 a.m. Eastern Time. If you are on the western side of the country, it will actually happen on late September 1st, 2020, or wherever you are in the world, just adjust the time depending on where you're at. Today we're going to talk about the full moon in Pisces, which is the sun is in Virgo and the moon is sitting across the sky in Pisces. And so at this time, the sun in Virgo is highlighting anywhere in your world that you have energy around what you do in your daily routines, anything around your personal self, details around organization, just what it is you do on a daily basis. So it is illuminating the moon down here in Pisces, and Pisces is the energy of culmination, of endings, of where it is in your emotional self that you're ready to let go of things. But it's also very dreamy energy. The Neptune in Pisces is kind of like very dreamy, and it is a great energy for creativity, as well as if you are in any type of business like marketing or something artistic. This is a great energy for coming up with ideas. You might have a lot of dreams that are very vivid at this time. But remember, the sun highlighting the moon is also this energy of where is it in your life that you are trying to become more attuned to what needs to end. And I decided to bring out the number 18, the moon card in tarot. And this is actually the major arcana number 18 card. And in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, there usually is the moon is highlighted and there's a dog and a wolf on either side of a creek or a river. And it's almost like this energy of what is hidden under the moon, meaning like when you are out in, moonlight, there always is this kind of like a haze, if you will, or kind of like a perception that you can't really see everything. And so the moon tends to be this dreamy energy, but not necessarily always dreamy, like it's like this fantasy, but there's almost like things are hidden. So underneath of this full moon in Pisces, we're going to get this energy of what is it that has been hidden from us, but now the sun in Virgo is highlighting these areas in your life. There could be the higher vibrational side of Pisces is that dreamy energy and be able to be creative and to tap into that side of us that maybe is very strict most of the time, but now wants to let go and fantasize and get more attuned to that part of our psyche, if you will. But the negative, or I would say the lower vibrational energy of the moon card is something is being hidden that you either didn't want to address before, or maybe wasn't actually out in the full illuminated light. And so I think that at this Pisces full moon, this next 2-week cycle, we're going to get this energy of where is it in our lives that we've been trying to just figure out where we can not only tap into our inner selves, but more of our emotional depth energy, because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac before we start the new astrological year. So there may be something in your life that is needing to come to an end, needing to end of a cycle so that you can begin anew in this after this lunation cycle. So I think that you all need to kind of think of this full moon in Pisces as this time to be able to reassess your daily routines. Think of where in your life that you may have energies that need to come to an end, that are no longer serving you. This can be a health routine. This could be something dealing with your daily work, your practices, how you interact with yourself and people, your kids, what you do on a daily basis. So reassess those things and figure out, is there some way that you can tweak them that will be more beneficial for yourself? Maybe you're trying to figure out ways to save time in the morning to get to work, or get the kids out to school, or at work, maybe your daily routine, you need to tweak it in a way that is going to help you maybe be more efficient with your time. Because Virgo, remember, is a earth sign, so there is this energy around your resources and how you can use them more effectively. But since Pisces is a water sign, there's this emotional tie to it as well. So I want you, as I'm going through these cards, some are turning, some are not, so we're not gonna we're not gonna use those. So what we're gonna do is we are going to think through, where is it in your daily life that you could use some tweaking? Where is it in your daily life that you need to let go of something because it's outlived its welcome, if you will, or there's an emotional energy that is no longer serving you? Or is there somewhere in your life that you would like to have more creativity? If you are trying to figure out, you know, you're almost getting writer's block at work and you have a creative project that's coming up. Just think through that as we pull a past, present, and future spread. And I also want you to remember at this time, this is a really good time also, that if you need some guidance from the universe on how to maybe connect better with yourself. Pisces is a very emotional energy, and so you might need to reconnect with yourself. Virgo as well is more about yourself, more about how you can better fine-tune your life, better fine-tune your health routine. Maybe your mental psyche is needing some emotional help. So this full moon in Pisces, I think, is going to be beneficial in that way. So we have the Six of Wands in reverse. We have the Hangman in the present in reverse. And we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. All right. So what we're going to do today is something just a little different, is that I'm actually going to pull the clarifiers, and I'm also going to pull a clarifier for the entire deck at the beginning. And there you go. We just got the Ace of C. So I already like that. So that is the Ace of Cups in the Rider-Waite deck. So I already like that energy right there. And I'm going to tell you what decks I'm using. This deck right here is actually called Tarot of the Golden Wheel, if you're interested in getting that. And then also this deck I love, it's called the Mythical Goddess Tarot. And it all has the divine feminine type themes going through it. So that Ace of Cups just flew out, and we're gonna pick one more just because that was a, oh, and there is our last one. Isn't that interesting how Isis, the High Priestess, just came out? So I think that that already is really strong energy, because remember, Virgo also is the divine mother or the divine feminine. And so there is this strong energy, especially around this full moon in Pisces, where there is this feminine feel in terms of nurturing yourself, nurturing your loved ones. That Piscean energy is that energy of emotional depth. And so I can already feel like with this Ace of Cups being that emotional Pisces side, and then that High Priestess is that motherly, wanting to take care of anyone around you, but also that intuition, right? Like High Priestess definitely is that intuitive tapping into that motherly intuitive nature. So I can already feel like this Isis, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Cups is really on point with where we're at. So for the Six of Wands, the 12, which is the Hangman in the Major Arcana, and Queen of Wheels, which would be the Queen of Pentacles for the future. So I'm already going to pull the clarifiers, and I've noticed that as I've been doing tarot longer, I've noticed that there's this energy around changing up routines. Instead of you doing the same thing the same way every single time, try changing up your routine. And I think that's really what this Virgo and this full moon energy in Pisces is asking you to do. Like, something has come, it's done its full cycle. It's ready for you to switch up your routines. And I really think that that's kind of the theme of this full moon in Pisces. One thing I do want to say is the lower vibrational energy of Pisces can also be escapism. And escapism can be good from a creative standpoint, but it can also show itself in negative ways, meaning like needing to escape through substance abuse or food or overeating or overworking. Like, it can be in many, it's almost like the extreme of, you know, I want to escape, you know, maybe you just want to go to the gym and escape from the stressful day you had at work. That's obviously a healthy way to be able to get the energies out. But then, you know, there could be a negative side where you go to the extreme of escapism, where, you know, you go to a party and you say you're just going to have a drink or two, and next thing you know, you don't remember last night. So I'm saying just keep that in mind as we do go through this Piscean energy, because that Neptunian energy can play out in different ways depending on where it falls in your birth chart. One thing I also want to say, I'm going to let you know about Mars going retrograde here after I pull these clarifiers. So let's get a clarifier for the Six of Wands. Let's cut the deck 3 times. All right, so a clarifier for the Six of Wands is Judgment in reverse. Let's get a clarifier for the Hangman, which is the 12 Major Arcana. Clarifier for the Hangman. There's the Page of Pentacles in the present. And let's get one more card, a clarifier for the Queen of Pentacles for the future. Yep. And there is the Two of Wands in reverse. And I think I've said this on, if you've watched my other videos, for some reason, every time I do a video, all of the all of the cards are always in reverse, which I always think is very interesting, because when I do cards for myself, they're not always in reverse. But for some reason, when I videotape, except for these two, these theme cards came out in the upright, but I always think it's interesting how they're always in reverse. So let me talk about, before we get into the cards, I want to talk about Mars going retrograde on September 9th. Mars going retrograde on September 9th is still going to be in the sign of Aries. There's going to be a feeling of somewhere in your life you need to reassess, reevaluate where Mars is in your chart. And this can be anywhere from, you know, whatever house it plays out in, but Mars is the planet of action. It's the planet of wanting to move forward, wanting to really hold on to something and go with it, if you will. Mars is ruled by Aries, so Mars is very strong in this part of the astrological chart. So Aries is that, you know, the ram. It's that going, getting started and just taking action. The lower vibrational energy of Mars is war, needing to have something always going, conflict. So keep that in mind as you go through Mars in retrograde that starts September 9th. It's going to stay retrograde until about November, and then it's going to go direct in November all the way to January. So we are going to have a long extended period of Mars in Aries. And so this can bring up, you know, themes around violence, around action, around needing to get stuff done, but maybe you can't, or you can't do it as, you can't get traction as much as you would like to. People around you could be more tense. They could be more ticked off. But it can also be a good time, you know, on the higher vibrational side, it could be a good time to initiate activities, projects that you've wanted to do for a while and just couldn't get traction before. It's just going to depend on where it plays out in your individual chart, where Mars in Aries falls for you. So just keep that in mind as we move through these upcoming months. All right, so let's get started with the Six of Wands in reverse, and I'm going to actually put it upright so you can just see it first. And the Six of Wands in reverse, usually in the Rider-Waite deck, is this person who is like come back from battle. He has these wands and a wreath around one of his wands, and it's like he's had a victory, and the townspeople are all cheering him on, congratulating him for their great work. And so this Six of Wands, you can see this person is on their horse. He has this flag, and there's this bird kind of flying in, and the wands are all down here, and it's almost like this victorious feeling of like you finally were able to accomplish what you really needed to do. And with it in reverse, in the past, this is almost signifying there was a time where you were feeling like you were trying to accomplish something, but possibly it was delayed, or there could have been conflicts in which you weren't able to achieve what you wanted to. Like maybe it was frustration, maybe there were people in your way. But I feel like with this Judgment card as the clarifier, and let me do Judgment upright. So Judgment upright is the 20 in the Major Arcana, and the 20 card, and you can see all of these people with their arms outstretched to the angel Michael. I think it's Michael. It's either Michael or Gabriel, but whichever one it is, it's the archangel. We're basically, you know, resurrecting whatever is the karmic lessons that you are supposed to learn in your life. This is the time when, you know, judgment would come forth. But with it in reverse of the clarifier for the Six of Wands, to me, I'm almost feeling like there's this, in the past, you have had a challenge with being able to almost reap the rewards you sow, or maybe you haven't been able to be there's almost like this sense of what you thought you were going to be congratulated for, or you were supposed to be rewarded for, you weren't. Like you felt like there was this karmic, there's almost, I'm hearing like there's this thing in you where you feel like you were supposed to have been rewarded, congratulated, or even acknowledged, and you weren't in the past. Like this Judgment card almost is saying like you feel like you were supposed to have received recognition. That's the word I was trying to get to, recognition. There seems like there's some recognition that you feel like was well deserved, that you should have had, but you didn't. That you, maybe it was at work, maybe it was something that someone else took the credit for. I'm feeling like there's this sense of like, why didn't I get recognition for something that I should have? And so in the past, you may have been feeling like, why didn't I get what was due to me? So that's what I keep hearing, is like there was some kind of recognition that you feel like you missed out on. But what I also hear is there's this reconciliation in the present where you're not so much worried about what happened in the past. And that's a refreshing thing to hear. So let's look at the present. So the present upright is the Hangman. And the Hangman is the number 12 in the major arcana. And there is this man who is hung upside down. You can see this infinity sign here. And usually in the Rider-Waite deck, there is a person hanging from like one leg from a tree. And there's this almost like this idea or this re-looking at things in a different way. So when the Hangman though is in reverse, there is a feeling of where is it in your life that you need to reassess how you've looked at things, reassess like your idea of how you thought things should be, but now you're realizing, well, wait a minute, now that I have a new perspective on things and I can look at them in a different way, there is this feeling of like, how do I make what I thought was a certain way of reviewing things, looking at things. Now there's almost like this theme of, well, maybe I can do this in a different way, or maybe there is a delay in how you look at things. And with this Page of Pentacles, also in reverse, this Page of Pentacles is the sign of some kind of youthful resource or youthful energy or messengers or messaging coming in saying your resources are now, maybe you have new resources coming to you. Maybe you have a new job. Maybe you have a younger person that works alongside you. Maybe you have a child that's bringing in new ideas. Maybe there's some kind of messaging around how you can look at things differently, but there could be a delay in this messaging coming to you. Maybe this aha moment hasn't actually occurred yet, but it's on its way in this full moon in Pisces time. I'm hearing like there is this energy of don't keep worrying about what was in the past. You are having a new realization or a new way of looking at things in this full moon in Pisces, or it's going to come. I hear this like you're going to have new resources and new ideas, and you worrying about how you weren't recognized for something in the past is no longer important to you. This is no longer going to be a theme of your life of worrying about where you weren't recognized, because now you're seeing things in a new light. You're going to be, I hear this, something's coming into your life with this Page of Pentacles that is going to bring a new resource or a new way of living or a new way of working. There's something around that Page of Pentacles where I feel like you're gonna reassess how you were feeling in the past. And it keeps coming back to this High Priestess and this Ace of Cups here. And I want to show you, I want to show you that Ace of Cups closely, because I think it's important to see how this is the ace, and you can see it says ecstasy, and all of these are women, divine feminine cards. And so I want you to see how she has this seashell here, and there's this like little seahorse, and she is like very much in tune with, there's some kind of emotional strength that's coming from not only herself, but like the ocean and the river and all of the water elements. And I'm almost seeing that in my head as that's that Piscean full moon energy that's going to be coming in at this time. There's this energy of like feeling comfortable with yourself again, feeling emotionally connected to the resources and things around you, and you're no longer having to like worry and stress about things that are out of your control. That's kind of what I'm hearing, like almost like the lack of control that you felt back here in the past with this Six of Wands and not getting that recognition. It almost feels like now you're looking at things differently. And I actually just saw, Spirit just showed me that this person is actually in the water. And I didn't even see that until I was just talking about that emotional energy. But you see how this is like almost like the sea kelp at the bottom of the ocean, and like this is, you see all of the bubbles and the water. And so it's almost like that Ace of Cups that I was saying, you have that emotional strength. It's almost like instead of you drowning, which would have been this direction, which looked like you're, you know, sinking to the bottom of the sea, I feel like now that there is this like emotional energy where you're like this yin and yang of that infinity symbol, where you're like actually being brought up, like you're actually now ascending into a better version of yourself. And I feel like this emotional connectiveness is what is going to really come out at this full moon in Pisces. So that's really exciting to see, because I think that many of us have been going through this disconnected feeling as we've gone through 2020, just with all of the emotional highs and lows, all of the information, all of the, you know, not sure what we can believe and not believe. It's just like, this is a really welcomed energy, I feel like, coming from this, you know, not feeling like we were recognized. I feel like we're now feeling more attuned with ourselves, and maybe resources that come to us is going to highlight that. So I think that's really positive energy. And so going into the future, we have this Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is a welcomed sign in the future, because kind of piggybacking off of that Page of Pentacles, there is this energy of being able to use our resources, and almost like we are going to be getting what is deserved of us. Does that make sense? So instead of that karmic energy that we were feeling not great about in the past, when we were like worried about the recognition we didn't get, the Queen of Pentacles to me is almost signifying this feeling of being able to reap the rewards of, you see she has this almost like she's what do you call it when they have those, what's the name of that machine that you almost like a sewing machine, but back in the day when they would actually like have the golden thread, and she would be weaving this beautiful, you know, tapestry of gold. It's almost like you're able to hone in on this beautiful gold treasure, if you will. Like you're able to build your future The Queen is always like that motherly energy again. Remember, we are in this Virgo season and emotional Pisces. So there is this motherly figure of emotional support, but also your resources to me sound like they're going to start becoming more available to you and more apparent than what was in the past. But now, since it is in reverse, it might not come as quickly as you would like. It might not show up it might not show up in the ways that you thought it was going to show up. That's what I just heard. And with this Three of Wands in reverse, the Three of Wands is, I always think of him, her, as I am ready to go. Like this checkered flag over his shoulder to me signifies these three wands are what you have been ready to get started, and now the universe is telling you, let's get it going. But with it being in reverse, it's almost like there's this feeling, since it's the clarifier of the Queen of Pentacles, I'm almost feeling like there's a hesitation. I'm ready to go, but the universe isn't quite ready for you to go, or you don't see the signs, or you haven't made the path, or you don't see the path as clearly as you would like to. And I think a lot of that, with this being Wands, fire energy, Mars in Aries, as I said, going retrograde September 9th, I think that there is going to be this hesitation. There's going to be this reassessing where you're at with your resources, but also trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to maybe put more time in? Where is it that my resources maybe haven't shown up the way that I would like it? Or maybe we just need to be more patient. That's another thing that I'm seeing with this Three of Wands in reverse, is there could be a patience factor, that just because things aren't materializing like this Queen of Pentacles like you would like to in the time that you want to, you may have to be more patient. You may have to accept that that with this Queen of Pentacles that the resources are coming. This could be a job prospect. This could be something that you have tried to put the wheels in motion, but you're still kind of waiting to see all of those benefits. But I think with the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, this is a really positive sign. Even though they're in reverse, you might have some stumbling blocks. You may have some people also who come into your life who you're not quite sure about. You're not quite sure if they're there to help you or to hinder you. And I think that this is going to be a period of time, like that Moon card I showed you at the beginning. Everything might not be crystal clear. There may be still that illumination of like, okay, where is it that I need more facts, more information? Even though I want to move forward like that Mars energy, you're going to have to be more patient, and you're going to have to wait for this clarity. Like I said, with that Hangman, you might have to see things in a different way. You may have to step back from where you thought things were at and where you were not feeling great about not being able to get recognized. I think that's coming, but it might be coming in a different way. It might be coming in a different avenue than you were even imagining. And I think that with this High Priestess, this Isis card as our theme here, remember 2 is the, in the major arcana, is this feeling of really being very attuned and in tune with nature, but also your intuition, your higher self, whatever that gut feeling is in you. That's what the High Priestess really signifies. And so as we move into this full moon in Pisces, I want you to keep this idea in your head that you have everything that you need to be successful, to be able to move forward, and that you can't wait on external forces the Queen of Wheels or Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles. There's almost like, I feel like there's this higher energy between the Ace of Cups and this 2 High Priestess. There is definitely this feeling of like, stop waiting on the world. Stop waiting on resources. Stop waiting on these external factors in your life to be able to feel like you can move forward. Just because this 3 of Wands is in reverse does not mean you cannot start planting seeds to move forward. This Queen of Pentacles is telling you there are resources there, but you might have to go a different route. You may have resources that you haven't uncovered yet. The Hangman in the present is telling you, look at things in a different way, be more patient, but also don't wait for anyone. Like, don't think that you have to it's almost like, don't wait for permission. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like this High Priestess is like, tap into your intuition. The Ace of Cups is saying there's emotional support for you. It might not come through a physical way. It might not come through people. You might have to tap into a new part of yourself. A new emotional strength might have to come. And you're being supported here. Like, this is really a positive reading, I think, for where we're at in this year, because we've been through a lot of trying times, and trust me, more trying times are coming as we move through these energies of Mars and just these different aspects as we go through the fall, you know, the political climate, the health climate. I mean, there's just a lot going on. But I think that this full moon in Pisces is trying to really tell you, like, don't lose all of your personal passion, your personal emotional strength that each of us have been given. I think that we can tap into many of these energies moving forward, and the Queen of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands is telling us it's there. We just have to find it. The Ace of Cups and the High Priestess is saying, use your intuition to tap into what you already have. Use that energy to really just make yourself more strong and confident with yourself, and don't think that you have to wait for the outside external world before you can move forward. So I think this is a really great energy, you all. I think that as we move through the full moon in Pisces, you know, comment below or just let me know. I've had a lot of friends reach out to me on Facebook and just say, you know, yeah, I'm really feeling that energy that we just came through. You know, what are you seeing for, you know, the next 2 weeks? So I always let them know, you know, look back on past videos on Scorpio soul time, because you can often see patterns of what cycles we've moved through. Remember, a lunation cycle lasts an entire 4 weeks. So even though we say it's like every 2 weeks, that's just because I do videos on every full moon and every new moon. But this energy definitely will probably last until the next full moon that we have in, I believe it's in the first week of October. So just keep all this in mind, and I really look forward to seeing how this plays out, not only in my own personal life but in yours. So I appreciate you joining me here on Scorpio Soul Time. If you have any questions, if you feel like you're you know, kind of stumped and trying to figure out where to go in this, you know, full moon energy, don't be afraid to reach out to me, because I think that, you know, we definitely are having this time, you all, that is not like the easiest of energies to get through. And so I think that that's why I enjoy the tarot so much, because it really gives us a opportunity to figure out where is it that we can use our own personal strength, because quite frankly, that is really what this Ace of Cups and this number 2 of the major arcana, High Priestess, is saying. Like, this really embodies us right now. We are the divine feminine. Regardless if you're male or female, everyone has divine feminine and divine masculine inside of you. And so there really is this presence of like emotional strength, the Ace of Cups, that emotional strength of the moon in Pisces. But then there's this High Priestess of like that Virgo sun energy of like, you know what? Let me tap into my resources, tap into my higher self, tap into my intuition, and really get comfortable with yourself. I think that if you don't take anything away from this reading, it's use your emotional energy and your intuition to tap into your higher self. Okay, you all, I think that's all. I thank you all for joining me here on Scorpio Soul Time. And if you haven't liked or subscribed, I would love if you would. All right, I'm always trying to like adjust this so that you all can see all the cards better. So hopefully you all could see them. And I thank you all for joining me here. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you, and have a great full moon in Pisces.